Good afternoon, race fans. A little bit late we're getting these up, but we are here. This is the coverage from round number 1 at Interlagos of the GT Alphas from lobby number 2. And we'll follow this shortly after with lobby number 3. Of course, we had lobby number 1 live on Saturday, and we intend to continue on that path. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, we might find ourselves with an additional broadcaster this weekend. But I'll let you know. Anyway, without further ado, I think we get straight into the action from the sprint race. Sprint race, of course, was set from the... I forgot what it's called. Was set from the qualifier at Willow Springs. Completely forgot what I was talking about then. Right, anyway. Good afternoon, Jay. Good afternoon. I'd love to be able to pronounce your name, but I can't. But hello, and welcome to Black Flag Racing TV. So, without further ado, shall we get a little bit cracking with some racing? I think we should. I think it's a good idea. Right, so this is lobby 2. And you can see that we'll go through the grid very quickly. Aero from the United States, from Sector 7, got himself on to pole position. Method in second. ART Terminator got himself onto the second row along with Avalon Shadow from Black Flag. Yellow Sausages and Willard also from Black Flag on row 3. Row 4 again from Black Flag Fubar, packing out that midfield. And Fubar Ferlantis, Daniel Alstis from Victory Pace Racing, followed by Willie from ART, an ART veteran of course. Trav Moose from the United States in 10th. Dalton from ART in 11th. Shredder in 12th. Schumacher from the United States in 13th. Osman and Tyler. And they were all saying, why are Osman and Tyler those two... I'm so sorry, I didn't put my phone on silent. Why are Osman and Tyler, or Kaizan, the pro drivers, at the back of the grid? Well, I'll tell you why. They didn't qualify, baby, so they've got some work to do. Right, let's get cracking, shall we? We'll start around midfield. We don't want to... we want to make sure we catch any action into the first turn. Let's go, shall we? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 lights, and away we go. And a good start from everyone else. Oh, that's a great start there from Willard, who we're on board with. Gets himself up into, well, 4th into the Centre S. Great start from him at the back there. Couple of that's someone going very, very wide at the back there. We'll have a look and find out who that is in a minute, but everyone else is relatively cleanly. So great start all round as we head down. You can see it's it's dawn, so the light just starting. Aero out in the lead, gets a good start over Method, who follows him through. So 2 American drivers at the front at the moment. Terminator, the Dane, sitting there in 3rd, and Yellow Sausages making that move on Avalon Shadow up into 4th in that beautiful yellow Super as we go. Great battle between those 2 black flag drivers. Teammates they may be, but they do not have any love lost between them. It is every man for himself in this GT Alphas competition. And of course, you want to vie for getting yourself into the pro group, into the lobby 1, because that's where the big boy points are. Good start from Yellow Sausages, they get yourself up into 4th place in the Super. Avalon Shadow in that 911, dropping back just ahead of Fubar, who surprised us all. Spent all of practice knocking around in the American muscle, only to bring out the McLaren 600S in qualifying. But you can see him knocking around. A little bit of a surprise doozy from Fubar, and it's a good result thus far. Willard in that AMG GT3, looking good at the moment in 7th. There is Daniel Auskis, he's in as he comes to the end of lap 1. Woolley in 9th place, Travis is in 10th, Schumacher in 11th. Oh, let's see the back end. Slide. What happened there? Tyler's way down the order. Shredder in 13th as Travis losing control of the back of that car. Really struggling. Where's Osmond? Osmond already up to 11th place, looking for a move around the outside of, the inside of Schumacher. Can't get the move done. Does he make it stick this time? Yes, he does, ahead of the 711 car. 711 car can struggle from the outset. See him going off into the Centre S at the beginning of the race. Osmond already up into that top 10. We expected him and Tyler to be pretty darn racing. And the sprint race very important for 2 reasons. Number 1, it sets the grid for the feature race, which is up straight after this. But it also, your time is stuck into the pool with everybody else that raced in the sprint race with 3 lobbies. And it sets your lobby and your grid position for next week. Let's say next week. For Saturday at Bathurst. There's a good start from Osmond getting himself into that top 10. But at the moment, it's all about Aero up there in the lead. I haven't got keyboard controls because obviously and it's just Aero already building a nice comfortable lead in that Lexus from Method in 2nd. Onto lap 3. It is 20 minutes this first sprint race. There shouldn't have any need for changing tyres and fuel service. But I tell you what, it's going to be a hot one. That's a big penalty, a 1 second penalty for Aero. And penalties here absolutely brutal because they are sort of halfway down the long run to the Centre S after you come out of Shunkow. That makes it very difficult to build up any kind of, it essentially ruins 2 laps. It ruins the lap you're on and it ruins the following lap because you're not getting the kind of speed you want down that long run into the Centre S. And potentially a 1 second penalty can cost you as much as 4 seconds, just in terms of lost time for both at the end of the lap and the beginning of the next. So that's going to put Method, if he can close that gap over these next few corners, into a half decent position. Currently that is your front 2, starting now to edge away from the rest of the pack with 2 US drivers. Terminator flying the flag for the Amigos racing team, currently running in 3rd place, but not got it all his own way. There's a lovely little train of cars behind him, stretching right back almost to Willard. There's a no chase cam. Too many presses, there we go. Chase cam, you can see there, that's the battle for 3rd. At the moment, ahead of that pack, that's Terminator. We've got Yellow Sausages in there, just behind him. We've got Avalon behind him. Fubar just in front there, and there is Willard, who we're on board with. Bit of a gap back now to Osmond, who's now up to 8th place, but starting to put him in charge. Aero with the fastest lap, and he moves into the Centre S, keeping it clean. No moves there, but look here, look at this. Look how close Avalon is to the back. You know, so he's trying to find it around these early stages to gain a bit of a position. He's got a good run, good slipstream down to this turns 4 and 5. Into the braking zone he goes, holds that line up the inside, move done, boom shanker by Avalon Shadow up into 4th place. Chris has to tuck in behind. He's now going to have Fubar breaking down that door, trying to find a way through into what I like to call it, it's like the twisted cart section in the middle here. There's some really, really complex corners. Some really, you need to be patient as well. You've got to watch your braking zones, especially if you've got a car that close. You've got to watch your braking through there. You've got to watch your acceleration while coming out off the corners. But thus far, that's how it's looking. Avalon Shadow now trying to beat down the door for a top 3. Looking round the outside of Terminator. Terminator holding that inside line. They head down to Junkow. Great move by Avalon round the outside. Dives in. Up into 3rd goes Avalon. And that's a place gain for him. That's a great lap from him. 2 places gain on that lap 4. We are 6 minutes in. Just 14 minutes left of this race. Avalon Shadow up into 3rd. Terminator drops down to 4th. Yellow Sausages into 5th. Aero had that penalty there, and you can see how much closer that's got Method to the back of it. Method now can really see the back of one of those cars. Not even a chance. Chuck in a good lap time. Close in. 1:31.9 fastest lap for Method. 31.2 for Aero. Some solid lap time. Yeah, Aero was running on the soft. As will everybody at this stage of the race. Let's have a look down the order. Daniel, I keep calling him Daniel. I don't know why. It's because my nephew's called Daniel. But his name is actually Canyon. Canyon Lauskas from the United States in 15th place. He is some way back already from Shredder, who is a nice little battle going on there. Actually, you've got Schumacher, Travis, and Shredder all battling it out the back. Marker battles. Hashtag. There, looking good at the back there at the moment, and very similar in terms of pace. Dalton for ART, as we see Tyler Kaizad make his way up to the top 10. He's taking a little bit of work to get up there, the Aussie driver, but has now squeezed into the top 10 in, he's in the 11 now, he is indeed in that position. He's sandwiched at the moment between the 2 ART drivers. There's Woody running in 1st. Not too far ahead of him though, he's got a little bit of work to do. He wants to keep Tyler at bay. Osman up into 8th. So the 2 pro drivers have found themselves in this pro-am lobby this week. Already working for the field, currently sandwich. The bread of an ART sandwich right there in the shape of Woolies. You can see Tyler bearing down on the back of Woody, trying to find a way through. He's got a great run out of the centre S. We'll see here, Woody is trying to defend, not like he can do. Tyler's got that inside as they head down to this big braking zone. And under braking, Tyler makes the move. Can he make it stick? Hell yes he can. Up into 9th goes Tyler. His next target up the road there. That is Osman. Great move by Tyler. Himself up into 9th place. Woody just dropping down. Still holding on though to the top 10. This battle for 3rd still raging on. It certainly is. I mean, this is Fubar. You can see here at the moment he's still chasing down these guys. He's just got Willard just ahead of him. He's going to take that move up into 4th. Willard. He is crawling all over the back of the Supra with Yellow Sausages in, which has just allowed Avalon Shadow up into 3rd to put a little gap. Big mistake there. What happened to Yellow Sausages? We'll have a little flick back and see what happened to him, because it looked to me that he was running really well there. Does he just catch? He does. He's on that curb and it just unsettles the car. And out it spins. And that's cost him loads and loads and loads of time. Dropping down to 9th. So dangerous when you get on the power through there. That curb can be so horrible. And you just lose it there and it costs him. You can see just how much that's cost him. From a potential top 3 down now to 10th position. Loads of places lost there. So that promotes Fubar, that promotes Willard. They're both up into that top 5. Avalon Shadow now, the gap getting a little bit bigger for him. Is he closing on Method? Because it looks to me that gap to Method is getting ever smaller. And after putting in a 1:31.1 in that last lap, you can see the gap is significantly closer to the driver. The German with flying the flag for Spain. He's trying to close down on method and find a way through into the top two. And the gap is getting much smaller. Aero at one stage and pulled a nice solid gap from method. But now this is the battle raging on for the top three. Fubar up into fourth place, but he hasn't got it comfortably. That McLaren 650S has a whole lot of AMG in the mirror. As Willard having a quick look round the outside. Is he going for the old switcheroo? He certainly has a little go at it. Does he make it stick? Yes, he does. Great move there by Willard. Gets himself up into the top four. Can he now pull away from the McLaren of Fubar Ferrantes and put a challenge on the GT3 as we're into the second half of this 20-minute sprint race here for GT Alphas. Aero still leads the way from Method. Avalon Shadow in third, Willard in fourth, Fubar running in fifth, Osman now up to sixth, with Tyler up to seventh. And that's by virtue of the spin from Yellow Sausages just on the last lap. Terminator up to eighth place now ahead of his teammate Willard. Just ahead of his teammate Willard. Look at that, that's like a little procession of ART cars. Now, if Dalton can find his way around Yellow Sausages, we might find ourselves with a bit of a human centipede of ART cars. Will they be able to bring it home in formation? We'll certainly find out in looking at the back of the pack, can you oust this? He's struggling a little bit to catch back up to the pack. He's had a couple of bomb shots in there. Lap 3 was a terrible lap from 142.0. He is starting to find pace now in the 34s, but Shredder ahead of him. They're starting to find some pace in the mid-32s, so that's only going to serve to open up that gap. Schumacher 132.1. That's a decent time. It's only a second off Avalon Shadow with the fastest lap. He's back in 12th. He's next target out the road. That's Dalton from ART. And I thought for a second then we might see Dalton getting all the wrong. There he is. That's the one down to back with the leaders. That is Aero running in first position. And so you'll have to bear with me. Unexpected phone call, but a very, very important one. Yeah, right, should we get back to the action? I do apologise. Was not expecting that call at all. Okay, so here we are. Aero in the lead of this race still from Method running in second. Gap very much getting smaller, particularly between Avalon Shadow in third. It's great moves for upper laps to get himself up into that top three. Now just sitting there behind Method and putting him under a little bit of pressure. Currently sitting with the fastest lap is Avalon Shadow in that 9.11. Willard G-Star up to fourth place, but it's a three-way, almost four-way battle now between Willard, Fubar, Osman and Kaizan, which will start to fight his way through the two pro drivers, Osman and Tyler. You can see them now starting to show their Lobby 1 pro pace, working their way through the field from the back of the grid, looking to set a really hot time. It's very important that you recognise that this race, the sprint race, serves two purposes. One, it sets the grid for the feature race, and number two, it sets the grid for the following week as well. So you really have to be careful with how you're getting through this and making sure you're not making any mistakes and keeping it nice and clean. We've got Wooly and Terminator, the two ART drivers, very close together. That's a three-way battle going on between Wooly, Terminator and Yellow Sausages, with Dalton there and Schumacher as well getting involved in that battle. Schumacher trying to make a move on the Amigos driver. You can see Amigos race team blazing across that rear wing, and will we see it blazing across the front of the car as he tries to pass, heading down towards the Center S into the braking zone. And Dalton under braking a little bit late onto the brakes, and that just gives him an opportunity as we see Terminator going very, very wide on the way out. Schumacher almost two moves there. He makes the move on Terminator keeps Dalton at bay as well, moving up into the top 10 and trying to bear down now on Yellow Sausages and Wooly. Great little move from him in the 711 GTR. No change out in front as we head into the last 5 minutes of this race. Lap 10 of what will be probably 12-13 laps. Aero still leads the way. Fastest lap with a 1:31.0. He saw that chasing pack and decided he wanted nothing to do with a battle. And out ahead, Aero goes for Sector 7 Racing. A number of his teammates in Sector 7 absolutely smashing along one of them. Method, there he is, his teammate, trying to close a gap of 2 Sector 7 drivers and a black flag running in top 3. That's the super of Method, and you can see just behind him, that's the 911 of Avalon Shadow closing down, trying to find a way through. A gap now to under 1 second. Nice little bit of slipstream down towards CRS. Well, a G-Star still leading that little pack, and he's got a little bit of a breather, little bit of a gap between him and the chasing pack. This is on board with Osman just behind him. There's Tyler trying to find a way through as well. There's Osman and Tyler going a little bit wide, you can see there, just in the rear view. And Tyler not quite finding a way around Osman. Osman tucked in behind Fubar, trying to find a bit of pace to find a way through. There is a yellow flag up ahead. That is for who? Aero. Aero makes a mistake. Shall we find out what happened to Aero? Let's go back another 10 seconds. To Aero down to the braking zone. What happens here? Does he touch the grass a little bit? Oh, he's a little bit too brave with the loud pedal. And the back end stepping out. That's a big mistake from him. So close to the end of the race. A little bit of damage on the front. Luckily, the sprint race is only light damage. That's allowed his teammate Method through. Avalon Shadow through. That's the top 2. All change in that top 3. Aero was doing such a good job out in the lead, but it's all changed now for the American Lexus driver, who's dropped down to 3rd position. How close is that Loud Willard to close? The gap a little bit smaller, but I think with only 3.5 minutes left, just a couple of laps remaining, it's going to be very difficult for Willard to find a way to close the gap, particularly with Fubar and Osman and Tyler all bearing down on the back of him, vying for a place in the top 4. Back to this midfield battle. There's Wooly. His teammate had a little problem, slipped down the order. Yellow Sausages up to 9th, holding on in that top 10. Schumacher as well in the 711 GTR, still holding on in the top 10. Dalton, we saw him make a little mistake dropping down the order. He's in 11th, but he's going a little bit wide out of Junção. Now, how many times do you see that go horribly wrong? To hold on to it, very good drive from him in that McLaren. That is Shredder, and he's not the one that fights the turtles. He is the one from the United States, and he is the one having a little battle himself with Terminator from ART. Daniel Austis is at the back of the pack. We've lost one driver already to a disconnection. So we lost a driver to a disconnection. Such a shame when that happens, to lose a driver so so Method leads the way from his teammate Aero, takes over the lead, should say, from his teammate Aero. He doesn't lead the way from Aero because at the moment his battle is with Avalon Shadow in that 911. We've got just a couple of laps remaining. One or two real opportunities left for Avalon to make that move. How easily is he going to find it? Because he has been closing all the time on those front 2. Once he got up into that top 3, he really has kicked on and started to put them under a bit of pressure. Right up now behind the back of that super very. So it's not a foregone conclusion, even in the Porsche 911. Riding on board now with Avalon. He's got that bit of slipstream help. He's not going to be close enough to make the move into the centre S unless, of course, Method makes a mistake. This is really going to be the second, I think, penultimate lap. Actually, this will be the last lap, but the last lap of the race. So he's relying really now on Method making an error. And he's a little bit loose coming out of the centre S, which has given Method a bit of a gap to pull away. Aero now, can he close down? He's got the fastest lap with a 1:31.0, and he's currently gone purple again. And for a second, then I thought that was Willard making the move. It's not. That is Avalon Shadow making a mistake. And Aero's right up behind him, vying for that second position. He'll be kicking himself, to be fair, because he really dominated this race. And that little error on the last lap just allowed these two to get through. So it's all about getting yourself back in the zone now, getting your head back on and fighting for this position. And he's closed right down on the back of that 911. And I think Avalon now is going to concentrate more on defending those corners than trying to push on to the back of Method when we get to the end of this race now. Because Method got enough to make it to another lap. So it doesn't look like it's become out of count for what will be the final time in this lobby. Little bit of a wobble from Aero. That's going to set him back a little bit and make it very difficult to make the move. But here we go. Lap 13 finishes. The timer runs down. Method from the United States crosses the line and takes the win in the sprint. Avalon Shadow in second. Aero in third. Good finish from those three. Good solid top three. Pretty much when they were in the top three, that's how it stayed. Willard holds on for fourth. Osman and Tyler fifth and sixth. That's a good race for them too. They started at the back of the pack here in this sprint. Fubar and then Woolley in eighth. Yellow Sausages in ninth. Schumacher home in 10th. Dalton home in 11th. Shredder is going to come round in that 911 and take 12th position. Kanyalauskas, Terminator had another problem, dropped it to the back of the pack. Kanyalauskas can't cross the line in 13th. Struggled a little bit there. His fastest lap was way down on lap 5. Couldn't really find that rhythm. And Terminator with an awful lap 12. And can't really do much on lap 13. Comes home in 14th place. There we have it. That's that one done. That's the sprint race done and dusted. Shall we move on to the feature race? Now, I am going to apologise at this point because I can tell you the feature race was set up slightly wrong. It should have been set up as per the finishing grid from the sprint. Little error, and it was set up from the starting grid from the sprint. So a few people out of position. But we'll see how well the race was run. Just waiting for it to download so I can play it. There we go, downloaded completely. But no, really good racing in that sprint. Some brilliant moves all round and a good finish from Avalon to get himself up into that top three. And then the mistake from Aero just allowing him to get into second position. And for Method, his Sector 17 mate to capitalise. I am revving up the engines, but I've got to change all my views and stuff. Right, so actually this is the wrong lobby. I've loaded up the wrong one. Apologies for this. That's lobby 3. That comes later. That's why I was wondering why it hadn't quite downloaded yet. It's because I just loaded the wrong one. So bear with me while I actually show some level of professionalism. There we go. This is the correct one. This makes more sense. Lobby 3, I can tell you, was quite exciting. And I can also tell you there's a couple of Lobby 3 drivers that were surprisingly quick. And you may find them banging on the door of the top 2 lobbies. So now I've loaded the correct lobby. We can actually get So, as I said, the grid was set up slightly incorrectly for this feature race. But that said, it's all to race for all round. Right, so here we go. This is the feature race, 40 minutes. They've got to think about tyre and fuel management here because they are going to have some wear and they are going to have to think about whether they've got enough fuel to make it to the end. Great start thus far as we look on board with Fubar. He's having a little look up the inside into the centre S. And so far clean out in front. Everyone got a little tap there from, I think that's Woolley, just behind it is Woolley, just behind Fubar. Gets a little tap, gets a couple of little taps. That's certainly going to get looked at stewards-wise. And I think steward inquiry-wise, that's certainly cause for concern. As Fubar knocked for 6 into the centre S there. And from my perspective, I wouldn't have dived up the inside there. One doesn't enough to do so, but mostly because it's just such a dangerous place to be on lap 1 with so many cars heading in there hot. So Aero into the lead yet again from pole. He should have actually started in third, but anyway, moving swiftly on. Method in second. Yellow Sausages up to third in that Supra. Can he keep in that top three? He's got Willard behind him. Willard started further down the grid, finished the last race in fourth. Can he hold on? Tyler and Osman with absolutely fantastic starts up into fifth and sixth position. Great starts from them. The Bud Lights looking there for Osman in sixth. Avalon Shadow in seventh in that 911. Good top three for the sprint race. Who's that? There is someone stricken on the racetrack. See if I can find out who it was that was stricken. Was that Kanyalauskas again having a problem? Looks to me that he's struggling in that BMW. Oh yeah, definitely struggling. Loses it out as young cow. Gets a track reset as well to boot. Some of these track resets are fucking awful. I think they should consider not bothering with these stupid track resets and just let the car get itself back onto the track in the way. So Aero leads the way for Sector 7 and the United States of America, the land of the free. Method in second, also from the US of A for Sector 7. And Sector 7 have been showing some incredible pace. And we will be releasing the team standings at some point today. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a close run thing for the team standings. Willard up to third. That's Tyler in fourth. Osman in fifth. What happened to Yellow Sausages? He's already down in 10th. Didn't have a great first lap. A couple of problems has dropped him way down the order. We've got Kanyalauskas back in 13th. Fubar is in 12th. He's some way ahead, but some way back from Woolley after getting bullied into the centre rest. But someone will be I think, well, I say will be. It has been looked at by the stewards. I'm not getting involved in the steward decisions unless it's kind of an arbitrary thing where it's something like the stewards, for instance. But yeah, I don't get involved in the steward advice. I think people understand racing better do that. It's probably weird someone who's commentating on a race leaving understanding racing better to others, but those who can do, those who can't, shout at you gits on YouTube. So Woolley in 11th place behind Yellow Sausages. He's going to try and find a way around Schumacher, and he looks at that GTI, says, "Gonna have a go." Gets really out of shape though, really out of shape, but does manage to keep the car on the road. But all the hard work ahead of Woolley and Schumacher forgot to boot, and finds himself in 11th position. Shredder taking some time out from punching up some turtles, and is currently running in 8th position behind the ART car of Dalton. Avalon Shadow second in the sprint race, back in 6th at the moment, and ahead of him that is Osman and Tyler, the two pro drivers trying to find their way back into Lobby 1. Unfortunately for them two, they missed the qualifying at Willow Springs. They weren't going to be opportunities to thank you, which they have done, but as per the rules, they were going to and there are one or two people who question why they don't come back in Lobby 3, and I'll tell you exactly why. They're pro-rank drivers, and actually it would be really unfair on the amateur drivers to have to cope with these two coming through. They're very good. And I thought it was fairer actually to the amateur drivers to not put those two alone, give the amateur guys potential into the race. My cat is getting tangled in some wires. Right, moving to even on the replays, things go wrong live. Aero still leads the way in that Lexus. I tell you what, he's the only driver, I think, out of the 40 drivers in Alphas that are running the Lexus. And I was surprised when I saw it, because it hasn't been a car choice we've seen many people even try it. But he seems to have found a way to get that car singing, get that car smoothly cruising around that track. Osman with the fastest lap thus far, 1:31.3. It doesn't match up to the fastest lap of the weekend, which was again Bonnie Val, winner of Lobby 1, and winner of the excuse me, of the qualifier as well. Can anyone beat Bonnie Val? Is Bonnie Val going to go on holiday and then bust himself down to one of the lower lobbies, having not made a qualifying time? So is anyone going to beat him? That's the big question. He's the man to beat place-wise at the moment. Method still running in second. Remember, Aero had a great run in that sprint race and led the race for 11 of the 13 laps, and then made a mistake allowing his teammate to take the win. But at the moment they seem to be holding on nicely. That's Tyler in that 911, holding on nicely to third position, not too far back to Osman, who's got a bit of a train behind him now. We can see there Willard in the top 5 again, Avalon Shadow in the top 6. This is the essentially this is the battle for third, because you've got Avalon there, you've got just ahead of Willard, ahead of him that's Osman, ahead of him just going out of sight now, just going towards the top of the hill. If I can see the top 6 pretty close together. That's Tyler going in there, you can see him just going out of shot to the right side now, looking really hot. Dodson back in 7th. He's not on his own though. He's got Shredder for company. Shredder in that 911, chasing down the McLaren, which makes a change from beating up some little teenage turtles. But at the moment he's chasing down that McLaren, trying to find a way through. A little bit of a race of their own at the moment, not close enough to trouble that top 6. Top 6 almost now out of sight for Dodson. His concern is not what's ahead, but what's in his mirror. And in his mirror is a whole lot of Shredder. Back in 9th, that's another ART driver, that is Woolley. He's got a little bit of a gap ahead, but behind, that's the 4-way battle for his 9th position. He's got Schumacher, he's got Yellow Sausages back there, and just in the distance, that's Fubar Falantis, trying to recover after getting absolutely battered around into the Centre S on lap 1, which has cost him a load of time. But he's looking pretty darn racy and pretty comfortable in the midfield in that McLaren 650s. Really got that car absolutely swinging. Now I know there's been some lobby issues this week, which we always get, to be fair, after an update, particularly when it's an update on rubbish cars, which is something big. Now, I have it on relatively good authority that there is going to be a fix to those lobby issues. Hopefully, touch wood, that fix before we do Bathurst, because it would be such a shame to have the absolute travesty of a clusterfuck of the lobby issues. And we're talking about a company that have made over $100 million already from this car, that they can't seem to put in a relatively simple update. And they're ahead. That's a 711 GTR. A Schumacher making a big mistake and losing a couple of positions there, allowing William and Sausages to get ahead. Yeah, as I was saying, $100 million in excess in profit from this game. Another mistake from the GTR, and they can't get a simple thing like adding some new cars to an upgrade without breaking the lobby system. And it's something that happens every time. And look, I'm sure that people make different talks about us, but if any of them are watching, seriously, how many fucking programmers have you got capable of doing some simple thing? How hard is it to make a server work? How hard is it that before you put an update out to several hundred million GT7 across the world, to make sure the update actually fucking works out? It's really not that complicated. This actually smacks all the way back to the introduction of VR2. When they brought in VR2, how bad was the lobby system? It was so bad they had to essentially rewrite the entire update. So I think it's time for someone to look internally at the QA within PD and so on. So we're going to fix this, because you've got, again, I'm not the only broadcaster saying this. You've got a lot of your big broadcasters. Let's check out big numbers. Very critical as well of the quality of the updates and the state of the lobbies afterwards. And let's face it, without the lobbies and without these people online, you're not making half the money you're making. So finish your fucking ran over. Nothing really happening on the racetrack, which gave me an opportunity to shout about uselessness in the job. Aero still leads the way from his teammate Method, as he did in the sprint race. We're on lap 8, of course, in this feature. 25-26 laps. There will be a pit stop somewhere around the 20-minute mark. We'll see who sort of lasts out. Everyone opting for the soft strategy here, which is probably the only viable strategy. No one yet has tried to go to the end on one set of tyres. It's difficult to manage the fuel to get to the end without a stop, so it doesn't make any sense to be using anything other than the racing soft tyres. Of course, it's a free choice. We'll find out later what people do when we get to some wet races, and there will be some wet races. The other thing, of course, in this feature race to bear in mind is that you have to repair some damage. If you crash your car, there will be damage to your car that you have to repair. It will not repair itself, as you find with the sprint race. You have to go in and you have to fix it. We've yet to see anyone with any significant damage in that, which would clean us. Tyler up into second. He's found a way around Method into that top 2. And can he put the frighteners on the US driver? So at the moment we've got the United States of America leads Australia from United States of America. The two Brits, Osman and Willard, flying that flag for United Kingdom. Willard really getting close to the back of that others 2 AMGs. Really, and that is a battle of mono versus mono. The cars are identical. Sorry, Willard, I thought Willard was in his. I'm right, Osman's up there. It's Avalon Shadow, the 911, putting trouble on Willard. Well, I don't know why I thought it was, of course. And Avalon Shadow does get that move done, gets that 911 round that AMG GT3 and up into the top 5. Can he recreate his heroics of the sprint race and get himself into that top 3 onto the podium spots where the big points are? Just to explain how the 3 lobbies work. Lobby 1 is the top 15 drivers, the fastest 15 drivers across all 3 lobbies on a sprint race. That's your top 15 for the following week. They will get the standard race points plus 50 bonus points just for getting yourself into lobby 1. So you want to get out of this lobby 2 and race in lobby 1, even if it means you come last, because you're still 25 points better off. Because if you're in lobby 2, you only get 25 bonus points on top of your finishing position. And lobby 3, of course, is just the standard points. So everyone vying to get out of the lower lobbies and into the top ones and score some points. There are an overall championship, of course. We've got the Pro Championship, the Pro-Am Championship, the Am Championship, and on top of that we've also got a Team Championship. And every driver that competes in all 12 races will get a certificate to say they did it. And some might say it's not a good thing. I say it's a freaking certificate and you will love it and you will cherish it and you will love it and you will put it in your frame and you'll tell all your friends. Aero from Tyler Lansdell, or Kaizan as he's otherwise known. He's really now started to try and close that gap. At the moment though, his battle is not over, and that is spinning ahead. We'll see in a minute who that is spinning. The yellow flag is not for a front runner, it is for who? As they get closer. Oh! It was that little touch from Tyler on the back of Aero. Let's have a little looky-see here, because it looked to me there may have been a little touch. Come back here. You should see Tyler really closing down on the back of Aero. Gets a great exit out of there. And with that slipstream, a lovely little run up into this horseshoe section of the racetrack. Little tap of brakes from Aero up ahead. Tyler getting on that power stack a little bit earlier. Hard braking into this right-hander. You can see there's a car spinning ahead. That's where the yellow flag comes on. Both got to be cautious. And the problem here, of course, you overtake under the yellow flag, you can get a penalty. So Tyler gets that move done. Aero just getting all kinds of out of shape. And Tyler very lucky actually under the yellow flag. I think he just missed it. But a great little move from Tyler to get himself into the lead. That is Kanyalauskas struggling a little bit with pace for the Victory Pace Racing team. You can see that's the battle for the top 4. You can see over the wing of Kanyalauskas is about to be lapped. So 4 cars, that's Tyler, that is Aero, that is Method, and in 4th place that is Osman. So it's a great racing for those guys. Just in the distance you can see Avalon Shadow in 5th. 15 minutes into this 40-minute sprint race. This is the GT Alpha's GT3 World Championship. Round number 1. This is a lobby number 2. I do apologise for how long it's taken to get this lobby up and running. A very, very busy week. It's just been it's taken a long while. I can assure you that the lobby 2 and 3 in place. Or I only need one week. Watch this space. Watch this space. We're all done before. Might do the same. Let's see. And up ahead there, that's a lovely little move from the Sector 7 racing driver to get around that back marker. It's a Method making that move. So Tyler in the lead, it's Aero, then Method. We're on board currently with Osman in the Coors Light racing car. Osman trying to find some way of finding a way through those Sector 7 drivers out there, but they're doing such a good job. Tyler still with that fastest lap of 130, and the Aussie leads this race. We're not far off seeing cars pitting. Now, what I can tell you is in Lobby 1, a couple of drivers chose to pit really early, and it was around lap 12 or lap 13. Cars made that decision to go for the undercut, and I can tell you that it worked for some, it didn't work for others. So we'll find out if any of these cars are going to go long, or if there's going to be some sort of still running on board with Osman. That behind there, that's Kanyalauskas with still trying to find the right past. Very, very wide American driver in Method, and then Mr. Hodge in this Lobby 2. Now I've got to tell you, the difference between the bottom of Lobby 2 and the midfield pack in Lobby 1 is about 1.1 seconds. That's nothing in terms of racing. You've got that kind of gap in a lobby itself. So that's just how close it is, the battle to get into this top lobby in this GT3 World Championship. We've got some other exciting stuff coming up on Black Flag very soon. KTM Boogie Woogie started this week. There's a 12 race series in the KTMs with punishments for top 3 section, success, ballasts, bullet success punishments. Could be the word. So the faster you are, of course, the slower your car will be by the time you get to the end of the race. There we go. That's an early stop there for Aero and for Method. So Sector 7 drivers have gone for an early undercut possibility. That gives Tyler a little bit of a breather out in front. He hasn't got such a big gap behind now. Osman running in second as Avalon Shadow out into that top 3. The master of tyre and fuel saving. If it needs looking after, he'll look after it. He's the sort of man that if you had a pet petrol, you would get him to look after it because he would keep it alive for a very, very long time. He said it and he sticks by it. Willard G-Star, the man, the myth, the legend. Currently running in 4th in that AMG GT3. Not really closing on that front 3 at the moment. Of course, the front 3 is a little bit deceptive because we've got 2 of those front 3 currently in the pits. Woody running in 5th place. A good start, a good solid start from Woody. Very consistent, I found. The other 2 ART drivers, Dalton and Terminator, in this one too. They've had their fair share of wibbly wobbles and the back end of their car stepping out on them. Woody's been incredibly consistent. Look at his times. 31.7, 32.8. Nothing really deviating from those kind of times. Very, very solid from him. Yellow Sausage is running comfortably in midfield in that Supra. He can look after his tyres a bit too. He'll want to run. I think he'll run past us to and give himself the best possible opportunity as Tyler driving into pits. Spot on, essentially, in the halfway point on 13. Will Agista jumping in as well. That promotes Osman into the de facto lead of the race as it stands. Avalon Shadow running in second in that 911. Osman's running in the Supra. Shall we have a little look at some liveries? That Coors Right livery. Coors Right. It's right. Very, very nice. Avalon Shadow in GT3. And it's a very good. You can always tell an Avalon Shadow car because it is right. Always. And if you're wondering why he's got a Spanish flag next to his name and a German flag on his car, it's because he is the German. He is the German in the room, and he will ask the questions. And at the moment he's asking questions of Osman. Can Osman keep him behind him? Aero set to 7 cars. All very striking and very obvious. Emblazoned. Tyler Lansdale with his new kind of Japanese inspired. And his name Kaizan means, if I remember rightly, it means the little better every time. It's like a Japanese phrase that means little improvements. And that's what he aims to do every time he races. Every lap he does get that little bit better. Take that corner a little bit quicker. Find a way around it a little bit faster. That's how he operates. That's Kaizan. Method from set to 7, of course, you can spot that. Slight different coloration on the Super Airport. Very distinctly, very obviously set to 7. Look at Dalton, you can always tell an ART car, yellow and blue, all over the art of racing. And that's Dalton in second place in That's Avalon in, that's Osman in, that's Aero back into the lead of this race. Again, of course, unmistakable. I say unremarkable, unmistakable. Will Agista. He goes for, he's got a very similar colour scheme to that of Avalon. That's a very, very light simplicity of colour schemes. But to be fair, any different on this GT3 is good. Yellow sausages, that is the greatest livery in history. Made by a very, very awesome. I'm joking. And I'd like to say I spent loads of time on it. Well, no, I did. I spent loads of time on it ages ago. And then I just wouldn't find it for GT hours. Shredder! He's got the Viper on that car. Viper Pace Racing. And he's looking pretty racy at the moment in that 911 RSR. And he is really very tired. Fubar Fernandez in that 650S. Very strong. New Jack. Was you the flag in there? And another VPR driver. There he is, Daniel Altes. His name's not Daniel, his name is Caniel. It rhymes with Spaniel, but his name's not Daniel. Running in at 12th position. Hanging on, we've lost a couple of drivers from this lobby already. Don't ask me who they are because a sieve. I do apologise for the elongated break in the sprint race. If you're watching this video after live, you'll be like, what now? Because I'm going to edit it out. But once the live is done, there we have it. Right, back into the lead of this race. Let's have a little looky, see what's occurring. So Aero's got a lovely little gap running to the end of this race now. It's a simple one-stop strategy for these guys here at Interlagos. Will we have the same situation next week or this weekend on Saturday at Bathurst? Now, we haven't had many people going off into the walls now. We had a few issues. I think Bathurst is going to be a different kettle of fish. Get it wrong at Bathurst, and you are in Pittsville, Tennessee. Yeehaw! Because there's going to get a lot of damage on those walls through the mountain section. And you will find after I put these up, there will be a track guide for Bathurst done by our very own racing. So Aero leads from Tyler Lansdell, or Kaizen as otherwise known, in the 911. He is a little ways now ahead of Method. That's the fastest lap. Osman though still trying to bear down. I was trying to bear down on Method. He's making a move on Method. He's up into third now. So Method trying to find a way through, or trying to find a way back into that top three. But Avalon there, oh, a little tap. Let him know you're there, he said. I'm here, smack. Let me climb into your boot, says Avalon. But any damage here, air time all over the shop. Fifth place for Avalon. A little bit of a gap back. He doesn't have to concern himself from behind. There is nothing there. Clear road behind. It's a three-way battle at the moment for third place. It's Osman, Method and Avalon all running combined for a place in that top three. Wooly not on his own. He's got Dalton for company. That's the two of them. And with them, Willard Gista in that AMG. It is Wooly running in Wooly in that GTR. It is Dalton in the McLaren 650S. And there's Willard trying to make a move round the outside in the AMG GT3. Is he going for the switcheroo? No, he's not. No doings there. He has to tuck in behind that. So McLaren, bear with me, sorry. I will edit out these gaps once it's up and running. Okay, so where were we? Willard Gista running in 8th position behind Dalton, hoping to make a move on the two ART drivers ahead and improve his position in the top 6. So, excuse me. A lot of running around unnecessarily. Yellow Sausages is back there in 9th position. Bit of a gap between him and his teammate, Black Flag teammate, Willard up ahead. He's got Shredder 4 company in that 911. Shredder 4 VPR comfortably in that side of that top 10 at the moment. Not really getting challenged by Fubar. You've got to feel Fubar. He's had good pace all weekend. He had good pace, but just really unlucky in that in that first lap coming into the centre S. And trying to make a move up the inside. A bold move to make on that one, has got to be said. Balls of steel, some might say. But just got absolutely battered around for a few. There's a few stupid balls. And found himself knocked down the order somewhat into 11th position. Canyon Houses is in 12th. Lost a couple of drivers to disconnections. The thing is the question is always going to be over the disconnections after the update. We've had a little random update. Do that again. Canyon Altis is coming out in 12th after it has a pit stop. Struggling with the pace a bit more finally in the number 3 next week. The pace just not quite on it in this BMW, particularly here around Interlagos. We have seen some great performances from BMWs in Interlagos, but Cameron's struggling to get out of the 130. There is your current race leader, that is Aero from Sector 7, and he's showing incredible consistency, particularly since his pit stops. He had dropped out of the pace a little bit into those mid to high 132s, but since his stop on lap 12, he has been consistent in the low 131s, nothing outside of 31.5. So just ramping up that pace as Aero towards the tail end of this race, with just 10 minutes remaining, lap 20 of I think 25, 26 laps. Tyler Lansdale Kaizan, he does have the fastest lap of the race for 31.0. He's been consistently in those low 31s though, and is slowly catching monkey, eating into that time of aero. Whether he's got enough time left, the gap is quite significant at the moment. We haven't got a split time, unfortunately. If you look on board the time, you can see the gap that he's got to make up. Now, he's only getting a 10th or 2 a lap. He may be a lot closer come the end, but if Aero doesn't make a mistake, Aero very much so on the top step of the podium, where he pretty much should have been after the sprint race, had it not been for that little error on lap 11 that cost him the top step of the podium. Osman up into that top 3 along with Tyler. These two, remember, started at the back of the grid in the sprint race. Both pro drivers. They can choose to put their pro sticker on the car. Neither has much to do so. They can if they wish. They are ranked as pro drivers, but as yet, we're yet to find out if they're going to make it into the top. Today is the final day for RSVP. So if you haven't already RSVP'd for this weekend, you better bloody do so, because it shuts tonight. Method running in 4th place for Sector 7. Wasn't in top 3 for so long, along with his teammate Aaron. But now finds himself under a bit of pressure from Avalon, fighting for 4th position. And they're just dropping off a little bit from the front 3. So this battle is currently 4th place. It's just these two involved duking it out for a place as close to the podium should be without getting, to be fair, do that. But he has got that 911 crawling all over him. That's all over him like a very, very bad rash. Can he shake it? Can he get some wind to get rid of the 911 shaped rash all over his back end? Woolley back there in 6th position. A little bit of a gap between him and his teammate. Willard is involved there as well, but the pace for that 7th position is absolutely simple. Avalon still trying to find a way through into Shunkow. This is lap 21. The GT3 World Championship. This is round 1. This is world number 2. Goals, of course, with a bit of luck. At the weekend, having a little look up the inside was Avalon, thought better of it, wisely so, stay tucked in behind, use that slipstream, use the car in front to pull you along, save a bit of fuel, save your tyres, so you've got that little bit more to push at the end. How many of these cars, I wonder, have underfueled with a view to saving a bit of fuel behind another car for a push, to give themselves a little bit lighter to make the car for me, I find the 911 under half a tank to start to be a little bit harder to drive. And I think that's to do with where the weight of the fuse is on the car. I think if I remember right, the weight is towards the wheel. So as it gets lighter, the back of the car is lighter. It just makes it a little bit harder to get down and to the back wheels. But at the moment, Method doing a brilliant defensive job. But of course, when you're defending, it's very difficult for you to get that tackle. And it's just going to allow Osman up ahead to keep that gap all the time. The Method's thinking about shutting out Avalon, getting a bit squirrely. No, I shouldn't gather. But all the time he's thinking about shutting out Avalon. He can't concentrate on chasing after Osman. So sometimes some say the best form of defense is attack. But often you find it's the lines they take with anything. Have a look, gets very close again through the sunrise. Still tucked in. This is lap 23. Just 3 laps remaining. Woolley running in 6th position. Good solid 6th for him at the minute. Not really under any pressure from Woolley behind, who's got himself all the way up and into that top 7. Top 4 finish for him in the sprint. So top 7 for the midfield finish is not too shabby at all. Particularly with Pro-Am, which is Pro-Am group actually. Is overall probably a lot closer than the Pro Group. I think the Pro Group is split into sort of 3 or 4 sections of like the elite and then the kind of mid-league and then still pro but not quite as pro as the pros. But I can tell you the Pro Group is only separated in terms of lap time by about 1.9 seconds. So 17 drivers in the Pro Group are only separated by about 1.7. Slowest and the fastest is Pro. The gap for Pro-Am, far off 2 seconds. So it is pretty evenly matched. Minute Body Val, the one to beat, of course, top of the table both and but we are only on race 1. There's Dalton running in 8th place. He's got sausages for company. Is the push on now? He's got a great slingshot out of Juncal, side by side. Dalton doing exactly the right thing and blocking off that inside line, but under braking. Who's got the big bollocks? Both big bollocks, and they both brake pretty much at the same point. Both get it slowed down. They take different lines through. Yellow Sausages just have to back out, and Dalton taking or maintaining 9th position to stay in that but stay ahead of the Black Flag driver. But a good little battle going on. Shredder and Fubar, any battle going on there? Gaps opened up a little bit between Shredder and Fubar. Fubar to Canyon Altus, and Altus back in 12th, but he is sticking it out, and he didn't rage quit this weekend. There is Aero, the lead is cutting down. Now I'm positive that it might be a little bit too much for Tyler to do to catch him, but there's 2 laps left and the gap is looking a lot smaller than it was, and it only takes now, I think if they both put in the pace where they can, as Tyler goes sub 130 or 130.8, if Tyler keeps this push on, and he is in those firmly in the low 130, Aero just outside, he's at 32, 130, 130. So he is losing time every lap to Tyler. But is Tyler close enough? We've got 2 laps remaining of this and 1 more lap remaining of this feature race before we crown ourselves our first feature race winner of Lobby 2 in this GT3. And if you are watching this back later and you notice 2 very strange breaks that have been edited out, it's because what was supposed to be turned into a phone. Very urgent. See, what happens in my house is that people order stuff and don't tell you that order stuff. But there we go. I mean, that's a great shot there. I don't know if you caught that shot. Because you can really see as you come up, you try and get it on board. There, you can see there, as the camera rises up, another drive. You can see the road below. You can see just how big the elevation changes here at Interlagos. As you come round here, I'll see if I can pause it. If I get the view, I'll see if I can pause it. But you get a good view there actually of the elevation change. See it come around here. It really does rise up the road, really rises up here. All the way out of Juncal through those first flat out corners. But you see here, look at that. That's what I wanted you to look at. You can see there on that left-hand side, you can see the road below. And that is, as you're coming out of that sort of twisty horseshoe kind of karty section of the track, down below there. And that's a massive elevation change. And you can see ahead to the grandstands and that. And you can see just how much this road rises as you come up towards the start-finish line. Which just demonstrates really how important a good exit out of Junção is. Because you're not only battling against getting the torque down, the speed into the car, you're battling against an uphill rise all the way. And there we have it. So on to lap 26, the final lap of the race. And there is your race leader. That is Aero from Sector 7. Tyres looking a little bit ropey now. It doesn't, for some reason it changes the but Aero running in the lead of this race, but Tyler is right there. He's closed that gap right down. It was somewhere near 4 seconds after the pit stops, but he's just with some really steady, consistent driving, closed down that gap on this final lap. But Aero's done enough this time. Got a little bit squirrely out of Junção, but done enough this time. Didn't make the mistake he made in the sprint race, which cost him the lead. Rounds that final kind of bend. Rounds this bend here, which translates to which means to the pits. And across the line goes Aero to take the win from Tyler Lansdell from Australia. That's really good performance from those two. Osman home in third. Great performance from Osman in terms of pace as well. Method holds on for fourth. Couldn't get himself another top 3. And a bit of a battle for him. And Avalon Shadow makes a mistake late on, which allowed Woolley into the fight. Woolley with a very solid 5th place from ART. Avalon across to 6th, Woolley in 7th. There comes Dalton across the line. 9th will be the yellowest of all the sausages, yellow sausages, and the Ninja Turtle Nemesis with his teammate, who is a couple of laps down across the line for the VPR team. That's a great show. Let's get a shot of that, shall we? For VPR. That's a photograph. Let's do that. So there we have it. It is what it is. That's those done and dusted. I'll be back later on this evening and I'll bring you Lobby 3 from probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock this evening. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Adam Pirate. This has been the GT Alpha's GT3 World Championship. Round number 2, lobby number 2. Sorry, round number 1, lobby number 2. Peace out, my brothers.